All right, so I get out of Florida, uh, wind up back in my home, where Obama once came to our local Jessup jail, supposedly having gotten caught for a speeding ticket. While I was walking on the highway down that way, uh, not allowed to talk about that. We've been filling up more and more Nigerians so that we can do corrupt things for the government because I live in a federal sanctuary. But they gave me two false documents of my birth certificate, told me one was real. Still haven't given me my social security card, even though I've had it sent there. And consistently refused to help me get my tax return. And now don't even apply for the third stimulus, along with H&R Block. And sent me out to Colorado, where a kid who goes by the name of Joker, sometimes they send him out with this, has been came with me on the bus from Atlantic City, and I met the other kid named Joker in Norfolk once. Uh, in a situation where I'm being stalked consistently, celebrities and politicians and random homeless people, and obviously cops, ongoingly, when all I need to do is get to Maslow's law, being able to smoke some pot. Um, and have been ever since they changed my medication and messed with my marijuana smoking and made me think spice was just synthetic marijuana for a while. Uh, a scenario where I have been forced into a situation where consistently trying to get pot from street people has made them try to definitely make me look like a meth addict in order to get to smoke pot. They've timed terrorist attacks in the area at the same time as Activision's Call of Duty 2, when they were originally trying to enslave me with random people. Uh, and now I've been trafficked out of the Springs after going through a charade in South Park. Through two different carnivals, both my parents and brother were not willing to respond to. One trying to take advantage of me sexually, the other trying to turn me into a trafficker. At which point I reported to the cops, which said they didn't know why, stalked me for making the report, falsely arrested me on terrorist threats, being blacked out in a time I couldn't remember what was going on. And they were basically re arresting me in the jail for snitching to my parents. So consistently backing up this, he's saying something to somebody, let's make him look bad attitude. And then getting sent through Alabama and then to Texas, where over six different small contractors tried to force me into an abusive situation and recollected how to make me think back to a situation with Nomi Stanton, and a definite threat to keep me shut up. Now, back in Colorado, where I originally met the Joker guy, and a bunch of bizarre other things that were happening at the time, but consistently they've been timing out things to make me look crazy, even though it's actually kind of happening in many cases. But they're strategically trying their best to make me look delusional and not give me credible ability to report anything. I haven't seen a therapist in 17 years, TVs, had a consistent contact without being put into a situation where they're made to believe something or paid off to make me think something for so long now. I'm trying to report, all I want is my tax return to start a new life in Hawaii since they stole my ability to ever get back into anything. But consistently, this seems to revolve around my ability to create a documentary. To which point, I've recontacted my aunt, my uncle, and the documentary filmmaker I met around the time I became homeless. And I believe I was being tested to see whether or not how I'd handle making a doc about drones, which is what my family makes a lot for Western Coming. Um, north of Grumman. Old used to be Westinghouse. And ongoingly, having all these different federal contacts from my olden days, just being connected to people for various reasons, it seems as though the government has utilized some sort of liability and anti snitch process against me for 17 years. And it's very well highlighted in how they've manufactured this last situation where, once again, once I was put into a jail, they outright were trying to make me look like a pedophile so that they could get me killed in the jail, even though it's not on a background check. No one's ever had any evidence of such. No one's ever talked about anything of such. So naturally, it would seem people are feathering people's kill switches for variable reasons because anything under the sun has come out in every way possible to get people nervous as to me being a snitch or being something bad they can get away with focusing on to get around them being focused on. Ultimately, though, I stayed alive the whole time, and now these people are festering in a huge pile of dirt that I can get them all interlinked to each and every one of their crimes in conspiracy in a direct and deliberate fashion, which is cultured through a anti-snitch device they use for people that were unprosecuted and just don't want to be cared for on the street in an invisible vagrancy concentrational type situation in times of war, which you have to worry about snitching. Now they're manufacturing, prejudice towards liberal people from one side and a prejudice against white men from the other. And clearly, we can see we are going to have to move and mobilize, getting all the intelligent liberal white men over to China to confront America with all its ill will. Um, Obviously, America's gone mad. And they've carried it out against me for quite some time now, so I can easily prosecute them. And manufacturing why this means China does have a good ploy in presenting the fact that capitalists just become torturous, evil jackasses is absolutely relevant now. The South saying that black people would just try to enslave us, very relevant now. Things we would have never thought possible in my progressive 90s age. Bill Clinton's getting busted for pedophiles, something maybe we could have imagined back in the 90s. But ultimately, Mexico's letting 12-year-olds have sex and prostitute themselves on the streets. So that's something we ultimately have to deal with now, along with the Epstein files and along with, everything we've always known about the projects in the countryside and cousins. So ultimately, we have to deal with this now. And I think the best way is ADT, flocks, and self surveillance.